Welcome back to Wolf Dog Empire. Today we're taking a look at some of my top heroes from a few months ago and from today. I use this list so that I can decide who needs to be leveled up, and because top 30, that's the normally what you use for Alliance War, and then you use 60 in the War of Three Kingdoms. So I am going to expand this list a little later, just for myself. I may not make a video out of it, but so I can see who I need for the War of Three Kingdoms. I have a lot of other heroes that I can bring up. If I want to bring up the 5 stars, it'll take a long time, but I can bring some good 4 stars like Ferrant, Asmia, Aotep, Junaid, the little duck from the latest Pets, Mighty Pets. I forgot his name, but if you remember that one, you can put it in the comments. Remind us what the name of that little 4 star yellow duck with the shifting mindless attack. All right, so this kind of shows me some of the progress. For example, I used to have Quinnell and Wolfgang at 970, tied for first place, and now they are down here. So I made some improvements up here, so that's good. Just to show you here, Wilbur was my 14th best one. Right now he's at number 30. That's custom Wilbur. He's at number 30 where he used to be at 14 just a few months ago, just a couple months ago. On this list here, Sartana's no longer on the list. Too many new heroes passed her. Richard no longer on the list. They're not maxed out, otherwise they would have been on the list. But I have other heroes that I'm concentrating on before them. Guardian Falcon fell down. Sergey is on the list, but only because I actually maxed out Sergey and he wasn't maxed out here. His power was at 683, and now I brought him all the way up to 829, fully maxed out. Fenrir is not on the list. Esma was at 670, but I maxed her out. She's at now 970, so she's up here tied for fourth place, which would have been first place back here. So brought Esme all the way up here. Yeah, Liana's not. I'm not working on her right now yet. Domitia, I'm not working on her. Gormick, that's custom Gormick. I'm not working on him right now. Kagan, I worked on him big time. He was at 651. Where is he? Here it is, and he's on this list at 883. So he would have been off this list, but I actually upgraded him. He was coming through for me on the Rush Wars, but now I do have Khufu. So I'll be bringing up Khufu, and he'll replace Kagan, unless I decide to use both of them. But I also have Sorche. Some of you might know her as Saorsi. So I'll bring her up later, but right now I'm not concentrating on her yet. Khufu's so good, I want to keep trying to bring Khufu up. He's great on defense, especially. On offense, if there's a tank and on offense you kill the tank or somebody kills the tank, then Khufu can only hit 2. or these two, but he's only hitting two. But on defense, a lot of them survive, and then Khufu can actually hit all because his hits chain. So it doesn't matter if he targets this one, it'll still chain left and right. If he targets this one, it'll still chain left and right. So on defense, Khufu is a beast. So I do want to replace most of the time actually. I will replace Garnett on defense with Khufu, but right now Garnett's still there. Khufu's not maxed out yet. So this kind of just shows you where I am and what I've done since then. So I'm really happy with the progress, extremely happy with the progress. And I do see here I would do 3 okay flags, only one good one, but 3 okay flags, and the last 3 were just cleanups. So I kind of try to be a team player as often as I can. So back here I would do one really good one, and if my team is that good, I mean I'll even do the last 5 cleanups. Just trying to be a team player. And right now I kind of have 4 good flags, and I'll do 2 cleanups. But these 2 flags, I have enough heroes where if I have 2 flags left and there's just a couple 5,000 team defenses out there, I can try to put together something that will at least give me a possibility if I get a good enough board where I can try to hurt that 5K team. But I know that if I don't get a good board, I could even get a 0 or just a 10. But this kind of shows you the progress that I've been making. So, and I didn't put the date here because I actually was not thinking that I was going to have an update to it side by side. But I put the estimate summer 2022. And I did put today's date on this one, just in case I want to compare this one a few months from now. I used to do the Alliance War flags. I tried to do rainbow teams for a few wars with my previous team, with my previous alliance, because my 4-1 teams, when I didn't get a good board, my 4+ a off color healer sometimes would not do well. And so then I went from, I knew not to go with mono on regular wars unless it's like my last flag and I'm going up against a 5K defense. Then I'll go mono or 4+1 to try to do as much damage as possible to give me a chance to win. But I was doing 4-1 before, and it was not working out. A lot of the times, I would not get those color shields. When I did well. When I didn't, I would get 0 sometimes. 0s, 5, 6 points. It was pretty bad. So I didn't do 4-1, and so what I did was I went all the way over and went rainbow. And I did not have good success with rainbow. Sure, all the shields matter, and that's one of the reasons why I thought, well, maybe I should just do rainbow. All the shields matter, right? If you put together blue shields, the Morel is gonna start getting some mana. You put purple, Luha is gonna get some mana. You put red, Garnett's gonna get mana. You put blue, Esma's gonna get mana. So I was just thinking with rainbow, all the shields matter and count, but I wasn't able to shoot off too many of them to make a difference. So lately I've been doing 3+1+1, 3 1 1s. So I'll do 3 of one color, and then sometimes I'll do 2 healers that are off colored, or 1 hitter plus 1 healer that are off color. But also, sometimes people have different color tanks. So I do see a lot of purple tanks, but every once in a while, we'll get some blue tanks. And I have a lot of purple and I have some solid yellows. I have 2 custom rocks. I was really lucky to have gotten 2 custom rocks, because base rock is not that good, but custom rock is amazing. So when I got 2 custom rocks, I'm able to hit in Alliance Wars a lot better than before. And I kind of did this sheet here to kind of give me a cheat sheet as to who to use in Alliance War. When you kind of just have a whole lot of heroes, it's sometimes a little harder to figure out who to use, or it's harder to remember who to use. So I did a little cheat sheet, which I didn't use this morning because I did my war hits at like 3 in the morning. I didn't use this sheet. This sheet I had it in the living room, and I hit from my bedroom this past last night. I didn't do so well, but on this cheat sheet here, I set up a team here, which is my Underwild team with Morel, Holda, and Phileas Fogg. And then I put a wolf team, so that's Esme, Wolfgang, and Quinnell. That way I get the advantage of this family bonus, and then the Underwild family bonus there. And then I set up a purple plus Kullervo, because Kullervo and Luhai are also in the same family, the Kalevala or the Keovala family. And then here I have the Three Kingdoms family. So Wang Juanji, Sun Xiangchang. I'm sure I said that wrong. You can correct me in the comments if you know how to pronounce that the correct way. Dao Chan, Guan Yu. And this family bonus is taken advantage of when minions are summoned for these heroes. I didn't have another minion because Minion Summoner Holda at the time was my only maxed out minion dealer, and I actually have her in the Underwild family here. So I didn't want to make her available for this team, even though this team needed a minion dealer. But I have since worked on Dio-chan. She's not completely maxed out yet, but she is definitely solid enough to be in Alliance War now, even though 2 weeks ago I did not have her on here, but now I do. And so she'll deal some minions to just the 2 next to her. So right now I'm probably gonna put her in here, or maybe I'll move soon out of here and maybe put Guan Yu here. So it'll be like Wang Juanji with a boosted healing, and then Dio Chan with the minions, and then Guan Yu, and then put Sun more to the right. That way Dio Chan can give minions to herself and these others, and then these 3 would get the family bonuses from getting minions. Because for a month or so, or since I made this list, I did not have Dao Chan at the time. She was not leveled up enough. Now, the other minion dealers that I do have besides Holda and Dao Chan are from the same color. I have a yellow one. I have a purple one like Dao Chan, and I have a green one like Guan Yu. They're not leveled up yet, but when I do bring one up, I have to kind of decide which one is going to be leveled up, and I'll put that one in here. One of them is Costume Freya. That's probably the one I'm going to bring up first. But actually, I'm probably going to bring up a Sylvaria because the Contest of Elements might end up being green. And if it is, then I might end up bringing a Sylvaria up. And I also have a Papyrus who's yellow like Wang Juanji, the boosted healer. So it'll be a duplicate or 2 yellows or 2 purples or 2 greens. But that'll be fine as long as it throws minions. And this one will throw minions to all. Instead of like Dao Chan only does it to herself plus nearby allies. These 3 will actually do it to all. So I'm definitely gonna put one there. Probably Sylvaria is closer to being brought up, so maybe I'll put Sylvaria at the beginning, and then later on I'll bring Costume Freya up, and then I'll be able to choose which one to throw in there depending on who I'm going up against. If I need greens against blue tanks or a blue strong, then maybe I'll do Sylvaria there. And if I'm going up against purple or yellow, then I'll bring up Costume Freya. But that'll be in the future. Right now, neither of them are strong enough for Alliance War. And I do have a purple team in here. Well, I already mentioned that one. These 2 are from the same family that killed Vala. And then I left some openings there, right? So I have 3 in the first one with the Underwild. And depending on who I'm going up against, whether they're purple tanks or a yellow or sometimes they'll have a purple tank, but then they'll have 2 flanks that are yellow. So then I could go with a yellow team or a purple team. So this is my purple team here, but then I can make a yellow team out of here by bringing in my yellow elemental defensive down and one of my hitters. And then so I have 2 more teams because this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 2 more teams, and then in those 2 other teams I can use like my Costume Rock, and then another Costume Rock, or I can throw Costume Rock in here. And I actually have them penciled in here because I do use Costume Rock in this team a lot. Because I already have a yellow Wolfgang that hits all. Costume Rock is defensive down in yellow. And then I have 2 elemental defensive downs in yellow. One of them would be maybe here. And the other one would be here. One of them is not leveled up as much as the other, but leveled up enough if I need them. And then so that's how I'll put together some of these teams. And then I did kind of make a list. The Luhai, Custom Panther, Kilhair, they're already in here. Kullervo also in here, so I kind of crossed them out, no longer to be available, to be used down here, to be used for these, basically to be fillers in these 2 teams here, or in fillers in these teams. So with this cheat sheet, that kind of helps me out. So if you guys struggle, or ladies, you guys struggle with who to use in Alliance Wars, especially if you're trying to save your strongest teams. This a cheat sheet like this should help you out. Sometimes you have two strongest teams, and then this will kind of give you an indication as to which ones should not be put together for these last two teams because they're going to be used here already. And then you can use this list here to start putting these teams together. I wish I used this morning because I did when my first hit. It was one of these two teams. I won with the first hit. The second team, I tried to put another team together here, but I didn't have this cheat sheet to start crossing these out. And I went too low in power. I didn't get the correct shields, the matches, and I ended up losing the easier of the two cleanups. Luckily, we still won the war. We were low. If you saw the video, we were a little low there because the enemy had more flags available to them, but they missed out on 4 flags and we won by like, I don't know, 20 or 30 points. So they could have easily won with those 4 flags, but somebody didn't log in for their last 4 flags and we ended up winning. We used all of our flags. So important there to have some teamwork, use all your flags, and I wish you luck in Alliance Wars and the War of Three Kingdoms. I got very lucky and we actually won. We came back also and we won the War of Three Kingdoms, and the loot is a lot better when you win. So I did get a lot of good stuff there in the War of Three Kingdoms. It was some pretty good loot. So I'm improving. I didn't always have some good teams. I used to struggle when I was earlier. I used to bring in teams at 2,900. I used to bring teams at later on at like 3,900, and then I brought teams at 4,300. So it was a struggle, but I improved. I think my defense now, for the most part, is at what is it at? We can actually take a look. So here we are in the Alliance War. We only need 2 more after that win. We only need 2 more points to unlock that war chest. 6392 to 6381. So that's 11 points. And they had 4 war flags that went unused. And that's why we won. I mean, they would have beaten us easily. We have plenty of teams. Let me see, 50, 48. Yeah, that one's a little easier to beat. So my defense right now is at 5173. I do want to bring Khufu in here for attack boost. I'll probably bring Quenelle in here instead of Phileas Fogg, but I do remove Quenelle when it's the war where it takes away the buffs, because Quenelle relies heavily on buffs. And that's why I put in Phileas Fogg in for Quenelle. But Phileas Fogg is good. It's really good too. So no complaints there. And so we got boosted healing from Garnet right now and boosted healing from Esme. We got some healing in from Holda's minions. But eventually I do want to bring in Khufu instead of Garnet. But it'll probably be when I max out Khufu. All right, well, hopefully that helps you out in trying to write down some of your teams. I know some of the veterans, they already know which teams they are. But when you're trying to do 6 flags in Alliance War, some people may not remember exactly who to use, especially when you're bringing some people up to replace others. Also in War of Three Kingdoms, you have 12 flags. So you could do a little cheat sheet like that and kind of start putting together at least some who are in the same family, like Underwild family, who's in Kalevala family, who is in the um, War of Three Kingdoms, the Three Kingdoms family, things like that. That we can take better advantage of their family bonuses. And then don't forget that the season one heroes now have a family bonus, and it's a pretty strong family bonus actually. So do put those together, especially if you have costumes, especially if you have 2x costumes, which I believe I got one 2x costume. I believe it was at red 4-star. And but no 2x costumes and 5 stars yet. I didn't do a lot of pulling in there. I have a lot of 5 stars to upgrade, but do have a lot of keys. 329 keys. I should say custom keys. So that's almost 66, 65, almost 66 summons there. So, but I'm gonna try not to do them yet. I'm gonna wait until the game puts out 2x costume Quintus and all of the 4-star healers, so I can wait 3 or 4 months. I'll let the game decide when they release them, and then that's when I'll do my pulls. I might even do just a few pulls here and there just to show you guys some of the summons, but especially if I feel lucky. But for the majority of these custom keys are going to be saved for when the game puts out 2x custom Quintus and all of the 4-star healers in 2x, not just Kirill. So, all right, I hope this info helps you out. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and give the video a like and share with your alliance members. Till next time, Wolf Dog Empire.